Well, hello there. And it is day 5 of our 30-day challenge of establishing a new habit of focusing on studying marketing for 30 days. And we are looking at the book, The Duct Tape Marketing by John Jantsch. And the subcaption is The World's Most Practical Small Business Marketing Guide. And he gets spicy today. Oh my goodness. So initially, we're on page 53, and he's talking about an identity audit. So understand where you are right now in your business, in your marketing strategies, and all of that. And then he talks about the process of the different stages that your customers are and how they kind of move through your customer journey, if you will. He doesn't call it that, but that's what I'm going to call it because that's a phrase that we're very familiar with. So they first start off as suspects, the list of people who fit your target description, and then they move to being a prospect, the list of people who have responded to an offer for more information. Okay, and then they become clients, the list of people who have tried your product or service, and then repeat clients. Of course, we know what that is. And then people who are champions for your product. And so he talks about how with the marketing funnel, how for small businesses that it misses a step. So his thing is a marketing funnel turned upside down, which he is calling the marketing hourglass. Okay, hourglass. So what does he mean by that? Oh my goodness. So you know how initially he was like, it's not enough for your clients to know, like, and trust you, because we've heard that, but we need to go a step further because just because I know, like, and trust you doesn't mean that I'm going to buy from you. So he's like, know, like, and trust, and then try, buy, repeat, and refer. Right. And so he goes into what that looks like at every stage. And then he was like, these are some questions that you are to ask yourself. What is your free or trial offering? Do you have a free offering that you have for people? What is your starter offering? What is your make it easy to switch offering? What is your core offering? What are your add ons to increase value? What is your member only offering? And then what are your strategic marketing pairings? Oh my goodness. So this is where it starts to get spicy. So when you have your offer, you're moving the people through this funnel. You're offering something that you're moving the people through this hourglass. And so you have something free in order to attract the people so that you can start building that trust. So this is where it gets spicy because in terms of moving the people along, what I would say is even though they know, like, and trust you, and then, as far as try, buy, repeat, and refer, this is what I want to talk about. So, in terms of understanding, even though you understand your target niche, I believe you need to go a step further. And here's why. I was on a sales call with someone who was marketing to me, trying to sell me a service for being a real estate agent. And I was completely sold on the product and I was ready to buy. And so, what he talks about in the book is that you can't skip steps because when you skip steps, you can't go from the people knowing you to buying. And the crazy thing is, I am a step skipper. In my mind, I'm always trying to skip a step. How can I make this easier? There's got to be an easier way. And that is rooted into my behavioral preferences. And so when we think about the behavioral preferences and understanding people, that's why with marketing and in sales, we have to understand the people. So we have to understand the behavioral preferences within our target market. So with my example of them trying to sell me the product, I was completely sold on it, but I was talking out loud in order to figure out if I understood what they were saying because my personality is a little bit quick and in a hurry and I make decisions quickly. I have to talk out loud and repeat what I thought you said, because what happens is sometimes I'll fill in the blank for you and that's not what you said. So I have learned that I have to repeat things to make sure that I understand what you're selling and I'm not filling in the blank for you. Drop a comment if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. So here's where I'm going with that. So I was completely sold and I was trying to get clarity. And so when I was talking out loud, the salesperson interrupted me and started with more of the sales pitch. So then he completely lost me. Like, you had the sale, but then you lost me because you continue to try to sell me. My point is, we have to know and understand the person that we are talking to know, oh, do I need to just send her an invoice or if I need to continue to sell? So that there's different types of people. There are people who make decisions quickly at a fast pace, and then there are people who need more information. The people who are more strategic, I'm going to call them the air traffic controllers, they need more information and they make decisions in a very strategic manner. People like me, and I'll have to go into this later because I don't want to get off on the flight assessment, but when I was reading today, I'm like, oh my goodness, he needs to go a step further in understanding the people within your niche so that you know when it's time to just give the person the QR code to buy, or if the person is an air traffic controller and needs more details. Oh my goodness, to me, that is a game changer in terms of you have to know within the target market, you have to know the behavioral preferences in order to cater to that style for the person. Oh my goodness. So there are people who, I can think about someone right now. Shout out to Ashley Kirkwood, right? She is, and you can follow her. She's a beast at sales. And I went through her summit. So it was a 2-day summit. I went through the 2-day summit and I was ready to buy her products. Like, boom. Like, I didn't need it. I skipped the step, but I had to be honest with myself because I can buy all of these products and not fulfill and accomplish what I'm supposed to do within the program. So the mature version of myself was, Dana, you cannot buy another program. You have to say no to this program. So my point is, there are some people who, because they got to know you quickly and they don't need a lot of detail in order to make a decision, when you recognize that, put up the QR code and have them buy. Don't continue to sell them because you are going to lose them if you continue to try to sell them and they've already been sold. Drop a comment if that makes sense. So that's why it's so important to understand people's behavioral preferences so that you know your niche within the niche so that you can specifically talk to their pace in making a decision. Wow, I hope you thought that was as spicy as I thought that was spicy, because even though we have this target market, once you identify your target, then within that, you have to understand, does this person make decisions quickly or are they going to need more information? So you have to know the difference so that you don't lose the sale. So, oh my goodness, that was so good to me. This was so spicy to me. So drop in a comment if that's helpful. And if you're going to be like, ooh, I need to process that so that I don't lose the people who I've already won. So shout out to day 5. I hope that you have decided that there's a habit that you want to add to your life, and you will jump on this 30-day challenge with us. So day 5, 30-day challenge is in the books. And drop me a comment on if this marketing is helpful to you or not, because double-clicking, what is a subject that you will double-click into? What is it that you want to know more about that's going to help you in your business? So thank you so much for listening. And until tomorrow, make sure that you understand the niche within the niche.